Hello, this is Veronica with Once Upon a Homeschooler, and I'm here today to do another video review. This time I'll be doing the Child Story Bible by Catherine F. Voss. One of my children put a little bit of marker on it. We like to use this book, and we add it into Sunlight. It's not necessarily included. It is a hardcover. I've only seen it in hardcover. I don't know if it comes in softcover. It's a pretty thick Bible too, considering how small the letters are. It is not a full Bible, and it's a little more detailed than most children's story Bibles, so it's kind of a good bridge in between the two. There are some pictures, there aren't very many, and they are full color, but they do tend to depict more of a white Caucasian viewpoint more than the traditional or Jewish type skin tones. There is a preface here, and I'm just going to skip ahead to the table of contents so you can see the chapters. As you can see, the chapters, some of the chapters are broken down into more than one section. You can tell that by the capital letters, and they will be using capital letters too in the chapters. I'll show you that here in just a little bit. The Old Testament is broken down into about 110 chapters, and there are fewer in the New Testament. But this does seem to take us longer to get through than the Eggemeyer's Child Story Bible, even though there are slightly less chapters, because the chapters seem to be quite a bit longer. So I can't read that every day when we're doing a really long history reading without sometimes overwhelming the little ones. But I'm just going to do the table of contents here. You can stop the video and rewind if you need to see them up closer. And the Old Testament is broken into sections. The New Testament pretty much is not. So we tend to do the Old Testament in HBL B and the New Testament in HBL C, and it ties in pretty well with the history as we go along. I don't really pace it. I just pretty much do one chapter on each day that we're not doing the other history, Leading Little Ones to God book. This is a list of all the pictures that will be in the book. As you can see, there aren't very many. And then it dives right into the Old Testament with a few pictures at the beginning. And then it just dives right into the first story. As you can see, this font is pretty small. And the chapter 1 in the beginning up here, this chapter is before Genesis 1. So it doesn't have the verse tag on it, but as you can see up here at the top, there are the capital letters to divide the sections. The one thing I don't really like about it is that the capital letters for the second sections are pretty small, so it's easy to skip or not notice if you are trying to break this up into more readings. I usually do the full chapter just because of that, because I kind of get going and have a hard time stopping, as you can tell from many of my videos. But this one here is, as you can see, it tells you a little bit about God, who God is, how God works. So you can see that, you know, the different aspects of God before they delve into the Bible. And then there are a section on angels, as you know, when the good angels and the bad angels are thrown out of heaven, all of that. And there is a little bit of background and history to that so you can understand it. And as you can see here, there's a little bit of extra history and details, but they did try to stick mainly to what the Bible says. They don't take a lot of liberties with what the Bible says. Sometimes I have looked up verses because I think it must be incorrect. I don't remember that being there, and almost every time it is there, so it's mostly my memory being faulty and not the book being faulty. There are a few issues I have with it, and I'll show you those later on. I'm just paging through a few of the chapters so you can get a good look at how long the chapters are and how much detail there is. You can stop and pause to read it if you would like to. But those are just a few of the chapters. And as you can see, there are almost 400 pages in this book with a few pictures spaced out in between. And it's just pretty much just a story Bible that you can read to your children and just do a little bit each day and talk about it. There are no discussion questions like the Eggemeyer's has. There is a map here in the back, but there isn't a lot of extras. There is a little glossary, not much. The one thing that I don't like about this book, mostly I really love this book. There's one thing I don't like, and I'm gonna get to my bookmark here so I can show it to you. I was gonna do another video review about these bookmarks. I love these little stickers. These are the Anna Green Gables one. This is Gilbert, but you know, because that's my favorite book in the world. But anyways, besides the Bible, there is they use the word Negro sometimes, and I don't like that they do that because in the original Bible it says Ethiopian. They didn't have to do that, and there are a couple different places it does that, so that is one thing I really don't like about it. But for the most part, they do try to gloss over the bad stuff. Like, for example, when they were doing the story of Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah here, instead of telling you that the people in the town were trying to do wrong things, it just says, let them come out so we can hurt them. So it does gloss over a lot of that, but it doesn't gloss over that it was a sin or that it was wrong. It just rewords it so that way children aren't exposed to more than they're ready for. So it is nice for the younger readers for that reason. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you and have a blessed day.